Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Now, Pastor Coates, that gentle man of God, will remain at the Edmonton Remand Center until his trial in May, incarcerated for nearly 3 months by the time he gets to trial on charges for which, if he is found guilty, jail time is not a punishment. Sheila Gunn Reid for Rebel News here at GraceLife Church west of the capital city of Edmonton, Alberta. James Coates, the pastor here at GraceLife, has been in provincial custody since February 16th, when he turned himself in for violating a public health order requiring him to limit his church to just 15% of fire code capacity and force his congregants into masks and social distancing. Now, since last Sunday, things have changed a little bit here because Pastor James Coates is not the only person running afoul of the law. The church itself now has been charged as an entity for violating the COVID-19 public health orders, and the church itself is required to appear in court in May to answer to those charges. Now, I've been at the church here for the last 5 Sundays in a row. In fact, I had the last interview with Pastor Coates before he was incarcerated at the maximum security Edmonton Remand Center, where he remains today without bail, unable to meet conditions that would require him to not just not give Sunday services here at GraceLife, but to also not attend any church that does not comply with the public health orders. Take a listen to just a part of our interview from that day.
You're not doing this to be rebellious at all.
No, we love the Lord Jesus Christ. We are required, commanded to gather and to worship Him with one voice, one mind, and so we are committed to honoring and glorifying Him. In fact, we believe that us honoring Him in this way is the best thing we can do for our province. To invite God's blessing upon this province, gathering as believers to worship the Lord Jesus Christ is critical. And so no, we don't have animosity toward government. We want to maintain humility and submissiveness, but we are accountable to Christ, and He is the ultimate and supreme authority. And so He governs all of our lives, and His authority at times will be in conflict with the governing authorities, and at that point in time, we submit to Christ.
Now, Pastor Coates, that gentle man of God, will remain at the Edmonton Remand Center until his trial in May, incarcerated for nearly 3 months by the time he gets to trial on charges for which, if he is found guilty, jail time is not a punishment. Now, for the last 4 Sundays in a row, Associate Pastor Jake Spence has been here on the pulpit preaching to capacity crowds, and each person here in attendance risked a fine by coming to service today. The RCMP and Alberta Health Services surveillance continues to wane at the church here as the congregants remain unintimidated and obedient to their God over government. And the police, who are normally here long before service begins and long after it ends, were only here until about 11:20 this morning, so about 20 minutes after the beginning of Sunday services. The media were also here, however briefly, just long enough to get some long-range photography shots from their perch in the ditch across the road from the church because they're not allowed on church property. They got some images of some supporters, but not congregants or members of the church, engaging in what looked to be heated discussions with the RCMP. Again this week, I was not recording in the church because regardless of how the media and the government are behaving and reacting to GraceLife, what's happening here is completely normal. These are Christians doing what Christians do on a Sunday. They've gathered together to worship and pray and care for each other. It's not weird, it's healthy. What's unhealthy is how quickly people decided that joining together as Christians is weird and dangerous. For Rebel News, committed to staying on the case until Pastor Coates is free at GraceLife Church, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you'd like to help us send a message to Premier Jason Kenney and the entire justice system that continues to incarcerate an innocent, peaceful man for the dangerous act of shepherding his congregation through these trying COVID times, please sign our petition at freepastorjames.com.